I meant to say this in the middle of the recording, but I'm going to put this at the start because I completely forgot about it. But just a general PSA for anyone who's like a minor or like just turned 18. Please, if you're someone who is prone to make sexual jokes and such, first of all, do not make them about yourself. And especially don't do them towards other people, especially if they're like a big content creator or something, or just generally an adult. Adults should know better. They should not engage with you this. But if there's any way to prevent yourself from being groomed, see these signs, see it as inappropriate. Do not try to impress them and leave and speak up immediately. It's hard and it's not easy, but you'd be unfortunately surprised how often this happens, and you're not alone. Thank you. Okay, so I was debating whether or not I should make like a little, like very small video addressing this, or if I should just let it go and just work on the next rambling video. But I feel like the rambling video I'm working on is supposed to be about something fun and stuff, and I don't think I can do that without that, looming in my mind. So I thought I may as well bring it up and give more attention to it. And I'll try my best to make this brief and not become a rambling. Anytime I'm like laughing, is this more out of being uncomfortable and stuff. It's not really meant to make light of the situation. So for anybody who's unaware, I don't know how I'm going to title this video, but I'm definitely going to bring Shay in the title because you have to. For anybody who's not aware, Shay, the speedrunner and very popular Undertale Deltarune content creator, recently got a document published about them, of their victims of sexual abuse, assault, harassment, and all kinds of stuff. I'll link the document in the description so you can look at it yourself. I will admit that I have yet to read every single testimony. I've stopped reading after the third one because it was frankly very long. I've said many times that I'm not particularly good with reading, and this one in particular was really difficult to get through, to read, to internalize, to not make excuses in my head, to try to think of loopholes in my head, especially when certain things unfortunately felt like they were lining up with certain behaviors I saw, and just chalked it up to, I don't know. When you look up to someone, you kind of don't take certain things as seriously as you should, and I am still ashamed of that. Not that I saw anything too problematic, I think, but when you see like a little stain and you just kind of excuse it because they're human, right? I've mentioned Shay many times in my videos because they are quite the inspiration for me. They were the first content creator I really started watching when I returned to my love for Undertale. They're also someone I listen to a lot while drawing because they have a certain humor that was just really appealing to me. And I cannot express the numbness I felt the moment I saw the document. There was at first a tweet kind of announcing it, which at first seemed like in very poor taste because it was like really, really vague, and people started to panic a little bit. But hindsight 2020, that was kind of the best thing they could do, especially for what was in the document. I want to make it very clear that what I'm about to talk about is more from a fan's perspective, but please, no matter what I'm about to say, focus on the victims, spread the dog, and make sure to support them. And if you can, by any means, find a way to financially support the people that were affected and anybody who has been through something of the sort. And for anybody who thinks that the document is fake, I want you to understand that coming out about this kind of thing, it takes a long time, a lot of bravery, a lot of healing to a certain degree as well. And when it comes to this amount, like the reason why I stopped at the third testimony, because it was very long and I needed to like see how much longer is it, so I can just pace myself. And the moment I saw how much there was to breathe through, it overwhelmed me. It was very difficult to look at and to internalize. I'm sorry about the phone. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm about to cry. I don't mean to. It's difficult to process this whole thing, because anytime I still think about their profile, whenever I see the Frogger thing, I still associate it with like a positive image in my head, and it hurts knowing that's just not true. I don't want to talk about myself too much, but the reason it's kind of affecting me is because we aren't friends. Shay and me are not friends at all. But they did DM me every blue moon once in a while in my DMs, and considering that I looked up to them, that they were also in a similar age group to me, it's made me potentially think I could start a friendship with them for whenever I'm not too asocial or too shy to give it a shot. But they also specifically said I should I can like contact them through Discord if I want to. And I have an irrational hatred for Discord, unfortunately for exactly those reasons that were in the doc, because it seems like for some reason Discord just seems to be like where everything just becomes this way for some reason. I don't know if this is like just correlation but not causation or something. I don't know, something about Discord just I associate with that a lot, and unfortunately it seems like I may or may not have dodged a bullet. I don't know. I don't think I would have been a victim necessarily, but sometimes I look back on the DMs and be like, I really hate how I'm looking at the interactions and feel like my aversion to get closer was justified. It's like giving my asocial behaviors a pass when I don't know, it's very strange. Before I end this, because I don't want this to be too long, before I end this I want to make something clear that Shay is still non-binary, and even if you don't respect them as a person, which is completely fair, please do not use this as a way to start misgendering them. It serves no other purpose than to normalize misgendering on whoever you dislike. Even if you don't look at it yourself that way, it's just normalizing that. So please don't do that. Disrespect them for what they've done, not for their identity, if that makes sense. This goes for a lot of things in queerness as well. Please do not see this as an example of queerness being connected to predatory behavior. That is completely on Shay and not about their queer identity at all. And to please make sure to not get clouded on that. The other thing I want to say is that I understand that a lot of people will say things like they should rot in hell, that they deserve to be killed or whatever, and all that. And in my nature, I don't like wishing ill on people, no matter how reprehensible they are. I've said this many times, but I don't believe in this kind of punishment on people, especially when it's to serve my own justice, to make myself feel less hurt. I just don't, it's just not in my nature. But I do believe that actions have consequences, and to be honest, the bare minimum should be them being in jail, like straight up. There's no fucking excuse for them not being in jail right now, but I do commend them at least to go to therapy, as it was stated in some places. I don't know if it was said in the doc itself, but I saw some people sharing screenshots of them going to therapy, and I do commend that. And then just not being online at all, and basically being banned from communities altogether is, I think, a pretty good consequence, I would say. There should be more. I will not say that they shouldn't. They should absolutely be in jail for all of this. Absolutely. I'm not going to downplay that. But I also don't regret my first reaction that I had about this, which was before the doc came out, I tweeted out that I hope that Shay is all right, and that hasn't changed. Whether they're in jail or just in therapy or something, I do hope that they are all right at the end of the day. I can't bring myself to be too hateful to them. I just don't like that emotion at all. And yeah, Shay, if for whatever reason you're watching this, I know we weren't close, but we had quite a few interactions, and look, wherever you are, if you are watching this for whatever reason, I hope you get the help you need and that you're all right. But I never want to hear or see you ever again. Goodbye.